Social Security is the most successful government program in our nation's history. Through good times and bad, Social Security has paid out every nickel owed to every eligible American for the last 76 years. Before Social Security was created, about 50% of seniors in this country lived in poverty. Today, while the number is too high, it is about 10%. Social Security also has been extraordinarily important for people with disabilities and widows and orphans. In these extremely difficult economic times, where people are so worried about their economic futures, Social Security must be defended. Social Security must not be cut. Social Security must be strengthened, and that's what we are here today to talk about. Despite a lot of right-wing rhetoric to the contrary, Social Security is not going broke and has not contributed one penny to our serious deficit problem. According to the Social Security Administration, Social Security today has a $2.5 trillion surplus, while the CBO has reported that Social Security can pay out every benefit owed to every eligible American for the next 27 years. After that, Social Security can pay out about 80% of all earned benefits. The bill that we are introducing today, the Keeping Our Social Security Promises Act, will ensure that Social Security remains solvent for the next 75 years without cutting benefits or without raising taxes on the middle class. Right now, an American who makes $106,800 a year pays the same amount of money into the Social Security Trust Fund as does Bill Gates, the wealthiest person in our country. That is because all income above $106,800 is exempt from the Social Security payroll tax. As a result, 94% of Americans pay Social Security tax on all of their income, but the wealthiest 6% do not. At a time when the gap between the very rich and everybody else is growing wider, that is wrong policy, that is bad policy, and that's got to change. The Keeping Our Social Security Promises Act would apply the Social Security payroll tax on all income above $250,000. No one making less than $250,000 a year would see their taxes go up by 1 penny. The chief actuary of the Social Security Administration has projected that this bill will extend the solvency of Social Security for the next 75 years, which is what actuaries like to hear. I'm delighted that this bill is being co-sponsored by Senators Barbara Boxer, Sheldon Whitehouse, Patrick Leahy, Danny Akaka, Claire McCaskill, Al Franken, and Richard Blumenthal. As you will hear in a moment, Congressman Peter DeFazio has introduced similar legislation in the House. We also have widespread grassroots support from many organizations representing over 50 million people. Now, let me just conclude my remarks by saying, well, some of you may think this is a terribly radical idea. Well, let me confess that we stole this idea from a candidate for president of the United States. You may remember his name is called Barack Obama. He ran for president in 2008, and essentially this was his program. This is what Barack Obama said. I thought it was a good idea then. I think it is a good idea now, and we're going to do everything we can to see it implemented.